This is the new setup on the brewery, Millgate Brewery. This is how it's going to be from now on until something else comes along, like a new design. This is the first time running this time with this type of setup. My new benches I built, just to give me a 3-tier system, gravity feed. At the moment we're doing a mash. I'll show you the mash quick. There's the mash, 65C. That's going to mash for an hour this time. We're doing an hour boil and an hour mash. It's a lot easier when you've got the proper setup. I took the table out that I used to use. That has now moved into this room, as you can see. Looking forward to this brew. It's called Bladder. This one the mate named it Bladder. So let's see what it's like. It's like an amber. It's going to be about 4.7, 4.8%. You see how it comes out when it's done. I'll do a bit of a boil, show you some of the boil a bit when it gets going. That's my hot liquor tank, which is heating up. I need to get a drilled thermometer in there because I'm going to have to mess about just to see what this says. As you can see, it's coming up to temperature. I've got a mirror at the moment so I can look at that, but I've got to sort that out. Yeah, I'm happy with it. Let's see how it goes. See you in a bit. Running the first run-ins of the sparging. Three-tier system in action. Got a nice glass of sunrise on, which I made earlier. You can see it in one of the other videos. Absolutely fantastic. Nice and clear. Cheers. Nice cold homebrew. Can't beat it. Let's pop him down there. the idea is to try and keep a flow, so your sparge is running at a similar speed to your runnings out into the kettle. Mine's a bit quick on that. I need to speed up my kettle, but I need to be careful I don't get any crap come through. Let's just check the clarity. Yeah, that's pretty good. Just speed him up a bit. See that? Got some crap. Now I've got to catch that, pull the ball off, and put that back in. So there you can see that. Running fairly clear now. Looks like the sparge is finished. Damn, this is fast. This just take me an hour and a half to do all this. This has only been running now for about 8-10 minutes. That's quick. That's empty. That's full. Now we're going to let it run through. Yeah, this has made my life easier. This has so much sped up my process of brewing. Let's hope the results are good, eh? This is on now, so we should get a boil at some point. This is only going to be a 25 litre batch. I need to catch about 40 litres in the kettle, or make it up to 40 litres and check the gravity once it's in the kettle, and see where we go from there. But obviously when we lose loss from evaporation, our gravity will get stronger, so initial gravity will be lower than what we want, but it should go down and it should give us what we want. That is the idea. Runnings are still clear and they're still good colour. Once they start clearing and getting lighter and lighter, we know we're washing through. But I don't wash everything out of my mash, because you can wash through proteins and tannins. You don't want to wash proteins and tannins in because you want to remove them. That's what the cold break does, removes those. And the more you put in, the harder it is to get rid of them. And you end up with a clear beer. I mean, this is, right, it's had isinglass added to it, it's been cold crashed. But it's the clearest beer, or one of the clearest beers I've made. It takes time, you know, you learn as you go. I bought a filtration system, but I've never used it. I don't know if I ever will, to be honest. I'm pleased with that. 6% that beer. It's topped with Cascade. Nope, sorry, that's the sunset. This is sunrise. This is hopped with Citra. 50 grams of Citra. Oh yeah, check out my little camera. It's like a GoPro. Got it from Lidl, 80 quid. The only problem with it is when I make videos and I just put music over them and I don't speak, it's because when I put it in its case, it's got a little case that's waterproof. The microphone doesn't pick up, so I can't really say much. I'm so pleased with this brew setup I've built. I just put a hook in because you've got to adapt as you go. I've nowhere to put my little stirrer, so I banged the hook in. There we go. That's the end of it. We're done. That's drained. For anyone that's never made beer, you've got to smell this. It's absolutely gorgeous. All the flavours from the barley, the malt. That's it, it's done. Shut that off. We are brewing. Mash is run. I'll take the sparge arm out now and give it a clean. I'll probably remove that mash tun because it's over my boiler. I don't really want it over my boiler because it gets warm. So, right, getting ready to come up to the boil. I've moved the hot liquor tun down. These tables are all separate, so that small one I've taken off. Put the chiller on there ready to go. I've moved that table back with the mash tun on it, so it's out of the way, and now the boiler's on its own. The kettle, and it's come up to 90. If any of you haven't seen my other videos, I'll show you the kegerator. Check this out on my channel. I built this back in April last year. This is it here. What I'm drinking now is some sunrise. The Robbie Leg is fantastic, and the sunset is the same as sunrise, different hops, different dry hop. This is my local brewery, Bladder Beer Company in Marlow. We've got a micro brewery, makes nice beer. And this is the inside of my kegerator. Some kegs. I've got a couple of brews over there. They're blondes, both of them are blondes. Back there's the pump clip. Quite lucky I've got a big kitchen. I've got the room to do this, and when I'm not using it I push it all to the back and it's out of the way. It's expensive to set up, but you buy it as you go. These kegs, I paid £88 UK each keg, and they sell between 88 and 120. You've got to look around. I got them from Ireland, company in Ireland. That's a tea urn, really. It's just a water boiler. Well, see you in a bit. Right, we're just getting to the start of the boil. Start of boil, 10:38. I'm getting on gravity. Here's my hops. That's second edition. That's first edition. That's Challenger. That's Apollo. Challenger, Apollo. Let's go with the old Challenger. Seems I haven't got a full brew kettle. These are going straight in, not messing about. Got the temperature, start a boil. Just get them in there. Right, let's give them a stir, get them going. Good rolling boil, nice and hot. Gets the hot break going. It's important to get a hot break as you get proteins, flocculation, coagulation, and it makes them join together, because you don't want proteins in your final fermenter. It's not good, because then you have to fine it even more to get rid of them. Some proteins are very hard to get rid of. So a good brewing process and good steps ensures a clean aftertaste and a good brew. So make sure you get a good rolling boil. Don't bring it up slowly unless you know, I'm doing 10 gallon batches. I'm up to the top of this and I have to drop my heat because I'll boil over. But in this, a 5 gallon batch, you don't have to worry about it. I know most of the brewers out there don't have the big pot stuff, but you just do what you got to do. You got to drop the heat, but get a good hot break. And then when you get a cold break, get a good cold break. Right, see you in a bit. Chilli's gone in. This drip here is an outlet of my chiller. Now, I just catch it in the bucket because I can't really be bothered to go and buy another part to fix it. And it'll probably leak anyway. It's only water that runs through the chiller and comes back out. So that is all wired up to the sink. There's your in and there's your out, it goes down the drain. Chiller went in a few minutes ago, it's gone back up to the boil. Still on full burner. I'm going to add the secondary, which is the Apollo hops, second edition. In a little while, 10 minutes. And over that, where's it gone? The Irish moss. 1 teaspoon to help the cold break. So we're nearly ready to go. If you have any questions at all about brewing, the process, reasons why we do things, or you're getting into it, or you just wonder what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, feel free to ask. Just send me a comment and I'll reply. See you in a bit. Right, we're getting near the end of the boil. I just want to point out, I put the chiller in 10 minutes ago. I need to throw some Irish moss in there, but my gravity isn't where I want it, so I'm leaving it probably for a little bit longer than the time that it is actually meant to be. Because I want it to be the strength I want it at. I don't want it to under strength. Get a good spoon of this. Second edition hops are going to be aroma flavour, so they're going to go in on to flame out. But the Irish moss needs to go in there now. Right. I'll take another gravity reading in a minute. I want to see what that is. At the moment we was at 10:46, and within 5 minutes we was at 10:48, 10:47. So we'll see what we're at in another 5 minutes. If I can hit my 10:50. And this sight glass, to be honest with you, when it's boiling, you can't go by it. It's up and down, everywhere. You need to actually look in the pot and try and work out where you are. And the sight glass, if this is a short batch, then it's a short batch, but I'm aiming for 23 litres. I always make my brews. I always do a recipe for 25 litres and then I end up trying to get 23 out of it. That way I do keep my strength. When I do it to the actual measurements I've made my recipes at, I'm always under strength. And if you watch many videos on YouTube, you'll see people always come under. They're always under. Make your recipe for a bigger recipe volume and then aim for a couple of litres below. Or work out your equipment measurements and losses. I find it easier just to go with the higher brew. I'm quite drunk, you know. I've had a few of these beers now. This old Sunrise, it's 6% this is. I mean, yeah. Well, it's lovely. There's a little wagtail out there. You get them here. Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. Good carbonation. So they've been in the keg since Friday. And what is it today? Thursday. So it's been in nearly a week. Here's the next set of hops to go in. There's the old Irish moss, which I keep on telling everyone is seaweed, not moss at all. And copper finings aren't really made of copper. It's Irish moss, or whirlflock, or anything you put in your kettle, which is called a copper. So these confusions, it does take a while to work out what people are on about when you're new to it. But it's just names that have stuck. And there goes my inlet hose. And my spatula. It's getting a little bit chaos now. That's what happens when you have a drink and you walk into things. Refractometer. Necessary piece of equipment. Try and use a hydrometer to take readings constantly. You've got to get it down to 20 degrees to get an accurate reading. It's difficult. If you use a refractometer with an eye drop pipette, which is this little thing, do you imagine the amount of liquid in there? Once it's dropped out, it's very small and the temperature is going to adjust pretty quick. So you don't need to worry too much about the temperatures when you drop it on there. There's a couple of drops and it will tell you what the gravity is. In a minute I will stick my pipette to the wall, take a little suck of it and then I'll put it onto my refractometer and I'll see what the gravity is, and I'll try and get the camera in there. Last time I tried this it didn't pick it up, but I'll move it about and do it slower and see if you can see the reading. Alright, see you in a bit. Right, now the chiller's running. As you can see, this is boiling water coming out of here, and when it gets going it is quite violent. I use a tea towel over the top to stop the steam, because the first thing you get is steam, and it tries to get you, I can tell you, it will throw itself at you. Now this is the cold break starting. I don't know how well you can see this, so I'm going to put the camera in, I don't want the steam up, but you get loads of flocculation and stuff coming up actually, and creating flops. I can see it well, but with this camera I don't know how well you can see it. It will lump together, and then as it gets colder and colder that will drop out and it will settle to the bottom. When I first started brewing with this kettle, I'll tip it up at the end to get as much as I could out. That's the worst thing you can do, because you're just pulling all that crap that you've tried to settle back out. Let it settle, take what you can get and accept the losses in the bottom of the kettle. Because you're going to get losses, that's why you want to brew to a bit more than you actually want, because you're going to get losses. You'll see a lot of videos where people want a 20 litre batch, end up with 17 or 18 because of their losses. Well, just brew above that. Accept the losses, lose it, and get what you want. That's what I'm doing. Adjustments. Takes a little bit of time, but you'll work out your system and your kit, and you'll get your adjustments. Look at this, I've fixed this twice. I've put new compression fittings on there, and alright, there might be my plumbing skills, but I'm not going to do it again. It's only outlet water, it's boiling hot, I'm not touching it. This is cold going in at the tap, that's boiling hot coming out. Usually use this to do the washing up. But I haven't got a lot to do today. Now I've improved my brew system. Right, I suppose I better go and start sanitising a container for my fermenter. This shouldn't take more than 15 minutes to cool down to about 25 degrees C. I'll show you the temperature now. It's only been on about 3 minutes. It's already down to 80. If you're American, I'm sure you can see it already. Because we don't work in Fahrenheit, we haven't done it for a long time. Okay, see you later. Right, it's been running 10-15 minutes. You can see through the water now, it's clearing. Got some hops floating, but most of the cultivator is settled. Temperature is at 40 degrees C, over 100 Fahrenheit. I've just sanitised this fermenter and lid lock and everything, inside and outside. Now I'll let you into a little secret. I like to filter. This has been sanitised, this piece of pipe. I like to put a piece of gauze, if you like, hot bag, over this pipe to filter anything that's coming out of this kettle. Now I don't like to spend money, so I go to my local shop and I buy packet of tights with 6 packs in. As you can see, all my brews I have been chopping bits of the leg off and making filters out of them. And I sanitise this obviously. Sometimes I boil it, sometimes I just bleach it and then wash it thoroughly with a very low odor bleach. Doesn't affect the beer in any way, and it is cheaper than buying hot bags at 36p a bag, or even dearer. So I'm about to go and chop a piece of that off. Don't need a lot because it's stretchy. Chop it about probably there, and then I will tie a knot in one end and then seal it to the pipe on the other end. I use a tie wrap or a Jubilee clip. Sanitised, and I've never had a problem. So I'm going to go and do that now while it's still dropping, because I'll be doing that transfer very shortly. See you in a bit. Right, I've added my filter, which is a piece of tights, and temperature is around 30 degrees C. When it drops a few more degrees, I will be transferring this into the fermenter. Still got the chiller running. Water's pretty cool now, coming in and out. Yeah, there's not a, that's cold, that's probably about 10 degrees C. It's not warm. And it's been about 15-20 minutes chilling. On another video I'll explain how I made my chiller and where I got it from and how I built my actual rig. So if anyone out there wants to do anything or build anything on what my burner is, I mean, that burner isn't a homebrew burner, it's a paella burner. I bought that for barbecuing. It's hard to read now. 9.4 kilowatt that would give out. This gas tank, the reason it's so big is because I know a guy that knows a guy that knows a guy, and I got it for 30 quid, 30 US sterling, UK sterling, which is probably about 50 something US dollars. I mean, you can't say no to that. That's the cost of a tiny one. So you have to take the big one because you know it's going to last. Right, see you in a bit. Right, started to rack out now. Temperature's dropped down to about 24 C. Got the slow running, aerating by dropping it. Got to get air in there for the yeast to eat. Got my filter on, working fine. Still got the chiller running. I found if I turn the chiller off, the temperature starts to fluctuate, so I just keep it running. It doesn't matter about it. Got some nice water running out of there. It's all good. See in a bit. Right, it's in the fermenter. I've gone slightly over my 23 litres, 5 gallons, because I know I'm going to have loss in the fermenter. These kegs are 23 litres. Now I know corner kegs are 18, 19 litres, but these are designed especially for homebrew, 23 litres. So I know I can hold it in there. There's my cold break and all my crap in the bottom of my kettle. Now this, I couldn't get any more out, it stopped. I didn't want to move it or disturb it. Now I was talking to you earlier about adjustments to get your alcohol percentage by changing the increased amounts of beer to do this and that. Well, it turned out, because I've gone over my 23 litres, I've ended up with a 4.4%, 1044 gravity. Now it's not what I wanted. I've got under it after I give all the speech about how I'm going to adjust and everything. This stuff happens. But saying that, I've had a few pints and I'm not really fully with it at the moment. But even saying that, I would have probably still gone under. But not as much under as I probably would have gone if I didn't adjust my stuff to go over. And I've never run on this system before. I've never done a sparge with that much. I mean, I'm happy with it. 4.4, it's a session beer. I'm going to have people over, we'll be getting on a session with this. This will be ready probably by, I don't know, April. Get on a session with it. Yeah, this is my hot liquor ton seat. Well, seat, stand, it makes the seat. I use it as a chair and I've got it down on the ground, so it's a double purpose. Yeah, I'm really pleased. I can't see the temperature on there, but I'm sure it'll pick it up. It's a good temperature for fermenting anyway. Primary. Now watch this. See how some of this actual water is clear? As soon as you touch your kettle, this is going to disturb, and this is what you don't want in your fermenter. And it just goes horrible. So tipping it up and trying to get it, the last dregs out, does not benefit you at the end of the process. Leave it, throw it away, and accept the losses. Right, that's the whole brew day done. We'll get back to you on taste notes, I suppose. That's all we can do. Get it done. I'm a long way from finished on this though. I'll be getting more of this down me as the night goes on, or the evening, or whatever, the afternoon, whatever time it is, it doesn't make any difference. A brew day is a drinking day. Get it down, get it done, and then enjoy it. As Craig Tube says, everybody have fun, get on with it. I wish you all well, and I'll see you later. Bye for now.